So I'm going to read from three projects. My book, Living Room, which I guess I could say is kind of usually domestic imagery, big philosophical themes brought down into some kind of close-at-hand type of space for understanding. Glass Harmonica, which is my book coming out next year, which roughly defined would be very musical, intensely musical prose poetry, always with an emphasis on the sounds of the words. And then my third project, which is called Spoken Record, which turned me into a sort of an anthropologist, looking for stories and listening for the way words are and how they exist right out of the mouth. Not in an intellectual space, not necessarily in a musical sounding space, but straight out of the mouth. And I've decided, the last time I read, and I liked it a lot, to blend those three projects instead of reading from one and then reading from another and then reading from the last, to just interweave them. And I kind of like the effect. It feels to me like I'm kind of at one point telling a story, at the next point it's like I pull a violin out of my pocket and play for a moment, and then the next moment I'm reciting something, and then I'm telling a story, and then I'm playing another. And, I don't know. We'll see how that whole works. I'll try to do a lot less talking in between the poems too. This first one's called it is a pastoral, which is a traditional poetic form, poetic form, I guess, about nature, a poem about nature. This pastoral is called Past Oral. Fun little play, but you know, past oral, and with a subtitle: No Voices Left of Dissent. Spring, out loud. Oh, oh, that old urge to onomatopoeia. Or is it alliteration? Interrogation? Oh, so many old urges, and each one too elliptical for sentences to hold. Not even spoken words could ever hold. Mother, may I? Yes, it's May. Patriotic showers bring us national flowers, and the wind on its errands every after equinox evinces. Blow harder, activist. Persuade those trees. And the trees are swayed some, but in the end just keep returning to positions. Come dusk again against the warmer skies, the insects shifting, quicken. Shh, listen. It sounds like yes, 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 yes. One-way ticket. We're off to hit the atmosphere with utmost fears exhausted. No returns considered, no re-entry needed, to leave and leave on incredible credit, each released from the lease, right at home, out of place. Goodbye ideas, so long, long face. Spinning wayward through the formerly onward, disorienting gloriously, unmeasured like nonsense on vastness ecstatic, looking back on that massive endowment, the earth, her now expressionless raiment of cloud, radiant. Instead, our muse, the void, has offered up her formless curve, an immaterial body for as if etched words, and she moves us even as we move, on course with love, that slant of save in which we must believe. Sprouts. I made you a sandwich. Roast beef. But you told me it needed sprouts. Go out and grow some sprouts, you said. Grow some sprouts? So I put on my new running shoes, because of course my new running shoes were in my dream, and I ran to a farmer's market where they had sprouts. But when I got back, you'd already eaten the sandwich. It was good without sprouts, you said. The house in order. You wanted to build a house? I wanted to build a house. We should not have built a house. We built a house. We should not have gone into the house. If you went inside, you left. If I went inside, I left. This was our arrangement. You put dreams inside the house. There was you in golden clothes and rosy colors in the dreams, also in the house. You put changes also in the house after I left. You left. I put changes and ways to look at changes in the house. We lived on different pages in the changes, also in the house. We passed each other going to and coming from the house. We drew a line with two sides to it. If we touched hands, it was too much. We touched hands, it was not enough. We should not have found ourselves inside a house. We lost ourselves. We found a house. We found a house. We lost the house. I think it's kind of interesting with poems like that. I wrote that, I don't even know, 10 years ago, and read it at multiple readings and was asked 3 or 4 times, oh, have you ever been married? And I said, and I was able to answer no every time. And then I was married for about 8 seconds. And once again, and this has happened to me many times, I had kind of a prophetic relationship to my own poetry, where I wrote about something that ended up happening. Which makes me wonder about the feedback loop of it. Did I cause it? Even-handed. I think my default state is mild disbelief. Like if something really incredibly good happens, if I win the lottery, I'll go, huh, and shake my head. Because I can't believe something incredibly good like that could happen to me. And if something really incredibly bad happens, like if my house burns down, I'll go, huh, and shake my head. Because I'm used to really incredibly bad things happening. Yes, I always like to address that appropriate reactions in poetry readings. What is one supposed to do? You know, the beatnik snap, the golf clap. Excellent response. Elevation. All day Sunday sang, all day Sunday vaulted and sang. Day music, day gracious, day easy, day dancing, a day of the sun, a day of beaches ether, a day of the day for tonight in the bowl of the sky. Perhaps, for my friends and myself, we drink, arrive as one voyager, eat of the palm frond, party, go gaiety, silly and lush, under profundity. Until the voltage of the purified, voltage alive in the soberer air, and I'm ready for one come open from liquor to undeclare the closings of previous beliefs. And if you emerged and you declared and I declared and we declared until our shuttle brimmed and boiled, laying claims contending vigorous, and if you emerged and you and I and you and I and we until we burst the pages with an everlasting breath, then in the morning, party over, full again of our powers, we'd inventory, effort-free, the speaking parts of birds and flowers. But night into Sunday sang instead, night into Sunday sang, vaulted and sang, night sighs, night swoons, night fires, night dances, night of night for the moon, night of night for the question, why? Night of